Every Skylander has one single upgrade called the Soul Gem. This is the last upgrade and it's supposed to be the most important, most game-changing upgrade they can get. It's so important they hide it around the map. Well, I ranked the original 32 Soul Gems, so now it's time to look at all 16 Soul Gems from Skylanders Giants and see how well they live up to this idea of the big final upgrade. The first Soul Gem we have today is going to be Jetvax with Eagle Air Battle Gear. This just enhances his armor and gives him a pretty sweet visor. So all this Soul Gem truly does is just increase his armor stat and gives him a cosmetic change. As a Soul Gem, this one sucks. It's very boring and should have just been a base upgrade. This is not something you really want to go out of your way to get. So as a Soul Gem, this definitely deserves D tier, as that's where I put all these Spyro's Adventure characters who had a very similar Soul Gem. After Jetvac, we have Swarm with B is for Butt Stinger. While flying, press the third attack to fire a Butt Stinger missile that tracks enemies. And unlike Jetvac, this one's really good. You should mainly be flying a Swarm because that's where he has his highest DPS, and this just gives you an extra way to keep attacking enemies. Especially when you're surrounded by enemies, this one is very useful. So as a Soul Gem, I'm going to rank this one in A tier. It definitely is strong, but not strong enough to be S tier, because if that Stinger could curve around you and go in front of you, then it could be S tier, but it mainly likes to stay behind you. Up next, we have Crusher with Rock Sliding Out. Hold the third attack to steer the rock slide boulders. This is more of a quality of life thing. The rock steering is not the strongest thing, and it leaves Crusher very vulnerable, very easy to get hit, and it doesn't do a lot of damage. So it's bad, but it's not Jetvac bad. So I'm honestly gonna put this one in C tier. I wish it was a little better, but it's not the best, if that makes sense. And after Crusher, we have Flashwing with Crystal Lighthouse. Hold the third attack to create a Crystal Lighthouse that fires a laser light beam. This laser light beam is very weak. It only does about 22 to 24 damage, so very low DPS, kinda useless against larger enemies, and very useful against very weak enemies, but it only hits them once every few seconds. So honestly, it's a better Soul Gem than Jetvax because it gives you a new move, but I'm gonna say this is about the same tier as Crusher, so I'm gonna put this in C tier. I think that's fair. No, honestly, I'm gonna put this in F tier. It leaves you too vulnerable and there's no real use to it. Like, use any other move of hers. After her, we have Hot Dog with Ding Dong Ditch, and after a Comet Slam, leave a burning bag that explodes when steps on. This just makes his Comet Slam a little bit better. The explosives does do a good area of effect, and all you have to do is one attack to get it. But I'm not really using his Comet Slam because it does leave you very vulnerable, but it's a lot better than the last two Soul Gems we looked at, so honestly, I think this one deserves a B tier. And after Hot Dog, we have Hot Head with Hot Rod. Hold his first and secondary attacks to turn into an actual Hot Rod. This is the one where Hot Head turns into a motorcycle that everyone loves. Is it very goofy and very cool looking at the same time? Yes, it does increase his speed lightly, but you should not be using this to attack, as it doesn't do a lot of damage and just leaves you very vulnerable. So as a Soul Gem, honestly, for the novelty of turning Hot Head into a motorcycle, I'm going to put this B tier. If it was any other transformation, I would honestly put it C tier, but I think B tier is good enough for it. After Hot Head, we have Shroom Boom with Self Slingshot, while holding his primary and secondary attack to slingshot himself towards enemies. This one takes a while to charge up and leaves him very vulnerable, but we have other ones that charge up that are worse than this one. This one is actually on the faster side, and it does the most damage, I think, out of all the ones that charge up. I honestly think this one is going to be a D tier, because I have some that I want a little bit worse than this one. I'm not the biggest fan of it. And up next is Tree Rex with Woodpecker Pal. A Woodpecker buddy joins Tree Rex in battle. This is a very good one. It's just passive damage, and the Woodpecker does a lot of damage. I think it's 20 per hit, which is pretty good in Giants, as I'm ranking these Soul Gems based purely against Giants gameplay. And I think it's pretty good. I don't think it's as good as Swarms, but I think it's better than these other two. So I'm going to put this one in A tier. It's very solid. I think this is where I have Cinders from Spyro's Adventure, which is a very similar one. So A tier feels right. Up next, after Tree Rex, we have Ninjini with Dazzling Enchantment. While inside the bottle, hold the third attack to put enemies into a trance. This putting enemies into a trance just means they cannot attack you and do not move. This only works against smaller to medium-sized enemies. The larger enemies this does not work against, but that would also be very overpowered if it did work for him. But if it did work against larger enemies, this would be an easy S tier. It's still really good though. Honestly, I think this one is a solid A tier. Just like the other two. I do use this a lot. My main Ninjini is on the bottle path because that's her better path than Giants in my opinion. I think A tier is right for this. We also have the other magic element with Pop Fizz, whose soul gem is called Shake It. Rapidly press 3 to shake. Rapidly press his third attack to shake the potion bottle until it explodes. This one is way more effective than most of the charge up attacks. A lot of the charge up attacks leave you very vulnerable and it only attacks in one direction. This one attacks all around you, like it does a mini bomb and a clear out. That's what makes this way more effective than some of the other ones. Honestly, and it's really strong, and it doesn't take that long to charge up. As a soul gem, this one's very fun, very useful on some of the lower difficulties. Nightmare, I think this one kind of sucks, but in my opinion, I'm going to place this one in C tier. And if I do, like, if this was in order, it would go above Crushers, but since order doesn't matter on this, I think C tier's fair. Up next is Bouncer with Fist of Destruction. While holding his first attack, press the second attack to fire off rocket-powered homing fist. These are okay. I'm not going out of my way to use these unless I know it will defeat an enemy. His primary attack is just faster to spam than these are to charge up. I think this is another C tier, because it's good, but it's not great. For me, C tier's upgrades are like, yeah, I get why I would use this in some scenarios, but this isn't in every scenario thing. And after Bouncer, we have Sprocket with Landmine Golf. When facing a mine, press your first attack to send it flying towards enemies. This is a really good soul gem. I'm trying to think. This just makes Sprocket better. This gives her the range she needs because her turrets take forever to build, and you should be using her mine upgrade path anyways. As a soul gem, honestly, I think this might be the first S tier giant soul gem. It does make Sprocket a little bit more fun because you can just sit back and throw mines at people. I think I'm going to go S tier with this Sprocket soul gem. And after Sprocket, we have Eyebrow with You'll Shoot Your Eye Out. Hold his primary attack to charge up a big eyeball cannon shot. This one sucks. The charging up takes forever, it leaves you very vulnerable, it doesn't do a lot of damage, and it has a very small projectile size. It is much smaller than the eye, because I had the eye clipping through enemies and it wasn't dealing any damage to them at all. As a soul gem, this is the easiest F tier in my life. I am never actually actively going out of my way to use this soul gem. It sucks. And after Eyebrow, we have, what's his name? Fright Rider with a real drag. While burrowing underground, the spear can drag enemies underground. This just makes his burrow upgrade even better. It deals more damage to enemies. This is one I am constantly using, but you're also very vulnerable while burrowing, like getting the burrow set up. But when you're burrowing, you're kind of in a really good protective state. As a soul gem, I think this is another A tier. No. Because the other A tiers add something on that make it even better. I'm going to put this in B. B feels right. After that, we have Chill with Call the Narwhal. Hold her primary to charge and release and summon a Narwhal. Just like every other charge, this one leaves you incredibly vulnerable. It doesn't do enough damage to justify it, and isn't that good. I'd rather spam Chill's primary, as that will deal more damage than actually summoning Narwhal. Just like Eyebrow's upgrade, this is a very easy F tier. I think it's slightly better than Eyebrow's, but it's still not good, and you shouldn't really use it in most scenarios. And the last character we have today is going to be Thumpback with Blowhard. While belly sliding, press 1 to spray water and a starfish. This makes his slide honestly better. This is a pretty decent soul gem. I didn't really think about using it, and then messing around with the soul gems just to get clips for this. This one was actually really good, and I kept using it. It's very strong. Honestly, I think this one is an A tier. It makes his slide better because it kind of gives him an AoE attack with his slide. But this is but based off of initial thoughts, this is how the tier list looks. I'm gonna think about it for a second, and I'll come back if I want to change anything. After taking a few minutes to think about it, I do want to change it slightly. First one, Sprocket is moving down to A tier. I don't think it's S tier enough, but it's still really good, and I'm moving Swarm up to S tier because you can spam his soul gem and his primary at the same time. It makes him really strong. And the other one is I'm moving T-Rex down to B tier. The bird is very useful. You don't have to do anything to activate it, but that's just kind of it. It's kind of a passive. It's something you don't have to think about, and I kind of want your soul gems to actually affect the way you're playing. And with that, that is every single Skylanders Giant Soul Gem ranked on a tier list. And here's what it looks like with my Spyro's Adventure tier list. But before I head out, there are a few from Spyro's Adventure I want to change. That first one is going to be Sunburns. After talking to a lot of people, especially in the Ultimate Nightmare Run community, he kind of sucks with this soul gem. It just makes Sunburn worse. It leaves him very vulnerable after every dash, as without the soul gem you can dash, dash, dash. With it, it's dash, pause, dash, pause. So this is moving into F tier, as you should not buy this. If there was a tier below F tier, it would go here. Up next is Dino-Rang's. I love Dino-Rang's soul gem, but when comparing it to the other A tier soul gems, it is kind of more basic. All it does is pick up food and gold, so we're moving that down to B tier. And the same goes with Cinders. I moved T-Rex down to B tier because you're not really doing anything to activate this. Same with Cinders, kind of more basic, and it feels right in B tier. But with that, this is every single soul gem ranked from Skylanders Giants. What do you think about my ranking? Is there anything you would change? Let me know in the comments below. And if you made it this far, thank you so much for watching, and please consider subscribing. It really does help me out. Also, if you enjoy Skylanders and want to talk about it with other fans, I do have a Discord server down in the description. And please, just have a great day.